Hey guys, back again. I've come to a temporary conclusion about what to think about Evalion and her new advocacy surrounding Strasserism, um, which is sort of like a leftist ideology that wants to turn Stalin into Hitler, more or less. Wants to forget about Hitler, more or less, and praise Stalin. They want to act like Stalin made Russia a goy country. This is according to Evalion. Um, Even though Stalin fought with the globalists against Germany, for some reason the Cold War proved that Stalin was a goy fighting the Jews, and the Cold War was goy versus Jew. This is totally in contrast with everything I've come to determine. That Russia was enabled during the war, before the war, and after the war by getting the bomb from a bunch of traitorous Jews, some of them getting hung for it. And I ask you, if Stalin was an independent goy taking Russia down a goy rule path, would Jews be aiding Stalin to get the bomb and making it sort of an even fight? I don't think so. So this doesn't hold water. However, at some point when you think you've made your case pretty well, and the other side, mainly Evalion and twittering with her, doesn't want to go there. And you have to understand, I don't know what Evalion's motives are. Is Evalion basically assigned to stay here no matter what the proof is? Or is she just a hard-headed goy that will see things eventually and come around because she's a smart girl? Well, I hope that's the latter, but at this point I have to say I can't trust her, and I'm going to give you some reasons why. She changed seemingly in a very short period of time to forgetting about Hitler advocacy, which she did all last summer, and doesn't do any Hitler advocacy anymore because she's hanging out with Strasserites who don't support Hitler really at all. Now, why she has adopted Strasserite philosophy is beyond me. She tries to act like it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense to me. So then I see that she's knew this guy, and they realized they really liked each other, and they decided to get married. I don't. It seems kind of quick. I don't think they physically were inside of each other except for the last month or two, and now they're already married. That in and of itself seems strange in this world, this weird world of political advocacy where they ask you to believe the craziest things that just don't buy that Evalion's going to meet some guy, even though she's talked to him on the internet for 5 months. She's going to meet some guy and then immediately get married with him. And not only that, but then start spouting the rhetoric that he's been doing. But let's go into the history of uh, his name's Red Fascist. He's got a site called Red Fascist. I assume his name is Red Fascist. I'm not sure. But let's go to the web page. And this is their website, right? So this is where they're posting the video as well as on YouTube. And on May 5th, apparently they put the video out a few weeks before that. And on May 5th, they had to write an article backing up what they were doing. I saw this yesterday and wrote it up, but also put my comments in why I didn't buy it. Now, I assume Evalion saw that, and she chose to say the Cold War was a fight between Goy and Jews. I was kind of floored. I asked her to Check out the Rosenthal interviews. If y'all remember, the Rosenthal interview occurred in around 77. This guy was a connected Jew who was interviewed by Walter White, and he told about the two Russian governments, one that is seen by everybody and one that is compromised only of Jews and is the hidden government, and it's the true power. Also, I don't get this because Stalin's at the front of as the leader. We know from our own experience that Roosevelt was the figurehead, but does that mean he was the leader? No, it does not. Does anybody believe Barack Obama was the leader of the United States over the last 8 years? Or that Donald Trump is leading America now? Well, why would we think that a figurehead leader of Russia named Joseph Stalin held all the power in reality? I just don't buy it. I don't see how Evalion buys it. I really don't. But here's the problem. This is their website. Apparently, they've been doing this Strasserism for many years. They're young people. Young people use the internet. They're brought up in the internet much more than old people are. But Evalion wants us to believe that they haven't done anything until just recently except out on the streets. Now, she didn't give any backup to that unless she's, since the last time I talked to her, she's left me a link or two. I asked her for some proof that they've been active on the streets. Because what this looks like to me, when I mention all the other coordinated events that have occurred that are pushing this idea that the Holodomor is an inflated thing that is inaccurate. There was no Holocaust committed against the Ukrainian people. This is what the Strasserites are advocating. They are using a guy named Curry Bolton for backup. Curry Bolton is pushed in compromised publication sites, I would say, that do very little outing of the Jew and are probably run by Jews. One is named Arctos. Kerry Bolton is also listed in Wikipedia, so he has a fair amount of Jew street cred for them to post him in Wikipedia. I don't think they normally post true threats. They tend to post co-opted threats, like I'm sure Richard Spencer has a Wikipedia page. But let's, okay, so I'm looking at this page, and let's go to the home page. The home page is there. So now let's scroll down and look at all these links. We can find out all about Strasserism. This is fantastic. They look like they've been working on this site forever. There's so much stuff here. Let's just check the Wayback Machine and just see how many saved pages, because the Wayback Machine automatically saves pages every so often of a website. That's Blindlight has a save site that goes back to early 2014, for example. So let's look at the Wayback Machine. Now this is the Wayback Machine, and when I click on it, it should show me an old viewing of an old snapshot. This page has never been archived. So the Wayback Machine automatically archives a page within a few weeks that the website's up. There is no page yet. This tells me this website is probably no more than 2 months old. I still would have thought that the Wayback Machine would have had a snapshot of the site. It's so new, there is no snapshot of the site. Now, this is supposedly an established Strasserite movement, right? So let's go to their YouTube channel. I click on Red Fascist. This is Red Fascist. Now let's go to videos. And they've got, interestingly, this is very interesting. They had a video that's 5 years old up, and that's been taken down. So I mentioned Evalion earlier that I thought some of these old videos didn't look very good. I bet she took this down. So all they've got is 3 or 4 hangouts, very loose hangouts where
I need to get, I know Hunter will be in here later.
so they don't even really know what they're doing.
The TR.
And when Evalion joins up, all of a sudden, we've got 4 different posts. So Evalion is making it happen on the Strassers YouTube channel. There was really nothing happening before. This group was barely a group from all physical evidence I see right now. This group was barely a group before Evalion joined it. Now, Evalion puts out the Stalin was an evil video where she also disputes if the Holodomor really happened. For the life of me, I can't understand why Goy would worry about disproving the Holodomor. But this is where she's coming up with that Stalin was really a Goy fighting the Jew world order, if you can believe it. See, I've been saying for the last 3 years that Hitler was fighting Russia, England, and the US, and they were the Jew world order. I think there's a lot of backup for that because the United States and England helped Russia survive in the 30s. They gave them aid. They helped arm them. The bankers brought about, the US bankers made the revolution happen. So if Stalin took over and took it out of the hands of Jews, do you think they would have kept fighting together? Or maybe the Jews would have turned on Stalin like they did turn on Hitler, who took it out of their hands. It's agreed, almost everybody agrees Hitler took it out of their hands, except the people that are trying to spread disinfo that he was an agent of the city of London. So what we now have is Evalion, the Strasserite red fascist. For some reason, she's forgotten about Hitler. She'll say she still supports Hitler if push comes to shove, but she doesn't want to talk about Hitler anymore. It's boring! I want to talk about the great Joseph Stalin. You know, the guy who let one of his main subordinates order all the Russians going through Germany to kill and rape women! That's Stalin! And it wasn't for Jews, not for Jewish vengeance of that evil, evil Holocaust that the Russians pretended happened. I guess these Strasserites have to actually say the Holocaust happened, because Russia is one of the main fabricators of the Holocaust event, Evalion. And Stalin is a good Goy, and he sells the Holocaust. Give me a break. Now, let's go to Brandon Martinez, who actually clued me in that Richard Spencer was getting his talking points from Evalion. Not Ukraine genocide, but a famine caused by collectivization and natural factors. He got this right after they made that post on the Red Fascist website. You know, he read it from there and just spread the word. Yes, Richard! Good man! So they're bringing in Strasserites to do this new undercutting angle, trying to undermine the Hitler memory, trying to promote Stalin as a good guy, trying to be a Duganite, trying to be maybe Putin, I'm not sure. In this case, Brandon, who's very anti-Putin, is really pissed off. But funny, I've just proved to you the Strasserites are basically nothing here. That they've had a very loose-knit organization that's met 3 or 4 times in the last 5 years on YouTube, in an era where everybody's using YouTube to get the word out, and anybody that was street active would be using YouTube as well. Brandon Martinez is promoting the Strasserites that have shown up since Evalion joined them. Now, maybe this wouldn't be a problem if I hadn't already shown you a million reasons why Brandon Martinez is probably a Jew-op that you can't trust. And I'm not going to go into why. But the fact that he's bringing the Strasserites to your attention when they don't deserve it at this point, they don't have any street cred, they're Strasserites in name only, they really haven't done anything, means the fix is in, folks. That's what it looks like. I don't know, I am speculating, but I'm a pretty intelligent speculator, and I'm willing to be proved wrong. But I had one final Twitter conversation with Evalion, and her summations did not work for me. And I said, under these circumstances, Evalion, I really can't put my trust in you at this time. Now, I don't have enough information to say that she's definitely working for the other side, but it does look like there's a lot of circumstantial evidence that implies it, and that she hasn't been able to give me a good reason why it's not the case. She's given me reasons, but I don't buy them. They're not good enough reasons. And I'm waiting for that time where I see that Evalion is authentic and she can give me good enough reasons, or it does make sense to me. Now, there were some good things in my interchanges with Evalion over the last few days that I liked about her. But I'm new to dealing with the Jew World Order, and I do know that they're very good at being somebody they aren't. And when I find stories that don't add up, I need to be convinced that they really do add up, or there is a good reason why you're going this route, and I just don't get it at this point. So I just wanted to make all that clear because there's a good chance I really have dealt with this issue enough for right now to put it on the back burner for a while, but I wanted to sort of let everybody know where I'd gotten to with this. I have noticed other people giving me kudos for seeing the VK Sinead psyop. They're starting to see it. Sinead is posting VK Clark's memes and shit on her site. Now, just to remind, VK Clark loves trannies. She loves Milo. And she promoted David Kolstein, who himself has said he was a traitor from the get-go. He was never legit as a Holocaust denier. He doesn't respect white nationalists. She really likes David Kolstein. She stands for, in other words, except for the feminism, she stands for everything Sinead detests in public. But then we find him on the couch behind the curtain next to Vince McMahon's office, making out and having a beer and laughing at the stupid goy. So I don't know what to make of that either. We'll keep you posted on all this, and thank you again for watching.